Hi everyone, Gary Lamassa here. We've streamlined our zero-touch switch provisioning process and added an offline capability in our 5.0 release. This video will walk you through the changes. Before we begin, I wanted to highlight that using zero-touch switch provisioning is step one in a three-step process to creating a physical underlay topology, or fabric. Automated fabric build and automated underlay build is covered in other videos. There's a link at the end of this presentation to our video library. During the switch provisioning process, UNUM will leverage the Open Network install process to apply the NVOS operating system to a bare metal switch, as well as assign a management IP. Once the process is complete, the new switch will be ready to be added to a fabric. There are some things you'll need to gather before beginning the switch provisioning process. Obviously, management connectivity between the switches and UNUM will be necessary. Also, an internet connection will simplify the process. However, with UNUM 5.0 and later, install files and activation keys can be downloaded from the Pluribus Network's cloud to a local machine and uploaded to UNUM. In either case, a PN Cloud account with ONVL switch licenses for each switch to be provisioned is necessary. You'll also need to gather some information such as the host name you want to use for the switch, the device ID, the MAC addresses. The device ID, or the service tag if you're using a Dell switch, is located on the order receipt as well as a sticker label on the switch. If necessary in a pinch, you can also console into a bare metal switch and issue an ONI sys EPROM command from the ONI prompt. Oh, and have the management 0 IP addresses you'll want to assign to any switch as well. There are 4 basic steps to using ZTP to provision switches with UNUM. First, we're going to log into the PN Cloud portal. Once you've registered your product, you should receive login credentials within a 24-hour period, and you can access the site by going to cloud.pluribusnetworks.com. Once there, I'll demonstrate how to activate a switch, and then I'll show you how to download the NetVisor install and license key files. Second, we need to associate our PN Cloud account with our UNUM instance. This step is necessary if you want UNUM to handle the installer file downloads. If you're performing offline switch provisioning because your UNUM instance doesn't have internet access, this step isn't necessary. Third, we'll be setting up our ZTP server, and fourth, we'll be provisioning our switches with NVOS. Okay, so step one was to activate devices in PN Cloud. To get to PN Cloud, you open a browser, you type in cloud.pluribusnetworks.com. This will take you to our landing page. Just scroll down, and this is the login point. Enter your credentials, hit the login button. Now this is a little hints window. We can just close this by hitting the green got it button. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is activate our switches. To do that, I click on the Activations tab. And you can see down here, I already have under 10 gig licenses and 40 gig license, I have a couple of switches activated each. To activate a switch, all you do is you copy and paste your device ID or your service tag into this field here and hit the activate button. I've already activated mine, so we're not going to do that step. Also, if you're going to do an offline zero-touch provisioning with no internet access, this is the point where you would download your activation keys. Just click on this green button, hit continue, it'll go straight into your downloads folder. Again, if we're going to do an offline ZTP, we want to get the installer file we're going to use. Now say we wanted the version 311.13.808. Here it is. I just click on the green download button. I'm not going to do that because this file's bigger and it takes longer. But again, it'll go straight to your downloads folder and you can just move it to a local machine where UNUM can access it. Pretty straightforward, right? Here's a screenshot of a newly powered on switch. I've consoled into the switch and it's in its initial boot state without an operating system. At this point, it's just repeating the same cycle, awaiting contact with the UNUM DHCP server. Now note, there's no real need to console in during the ZTP process. I included this slide so you'd know what to expect from a newly powered on switch. Okay, to access UNUM, we type in the management IP and then our credentials. Now from here, the next step would be to associate our PN Cloud account with UNUM. So if I click on the gear button in the upper right, then select license, you'll see there's this blue PN Cloud button. just click on that, and we can type in our credentials for the website. Now, that's a really easy step. Okay, the third step was to configure the ZTP server. So to do that, we're going to click on Manage, Fabric, and the ZTP server link. Now, if you've ever configured a DHCP server, whether in a data center or on your home router, this should all look very familiar. If you have any questions about what the individual fields are, please refer to the UNUM setup guide. This is already configured. I don't need to make any changes. I'm going to click the blue Save button. You can see it's been updated successfully. And then, most important of all, I'm going to start the server. All right, the last step is to provision some switches. Now we can click on the ZTP switch link here, or we can go back to Manage ZTP switch, same link. It'll take us to the same spot. Now you can see I already have some switches here. What I want to do is add one more spine, spine 1. So I'm going to click on the blue Add Switch button. Then I'm going to populate some of the information I gathered earlier on. Okay, hostname, spine 1, IP address, MAC address, and the device IE. Now, I need to pick the software version. Now, bear in mind, all your switches need to be the same version level. I'm going to select on this pull-down menu, and this is where the streamlining occurs. I have different options here. As you can see, this is from my internet connection between UNUM and the PN Cloud. Now, where you can see this ONI installer 311 with a 13800 at the end with the double asterisk, this is an image I uploaded earlier. I did this by just clicking on the upload software image. This will take you to a standard file loading screen. I'm going to cancel out of this. I am going to pick the 13800 for the online access. Now, again, with the activation key, you have the same option. I can upload a key directly here, which would have been the file we downloaded earlier, or I can just select the license I want. And as you can see, these double stars mean that these are the files that have been uploaded. I'll just pick the online 40 gig. Now we verify that we have a spine chosen because this is a spine, yep, right license. This is the version I want. And we click on done. Okay, we can see that the host has been added successfully. I can see spine 1 at the bottom here. Now this can take a bit of time. It depends on a bunch of factors. How long it takes DHCP connection to occur, the CPUs and the switches, how busy the update servers are, what have you. But what you'll see shortly is this button will turn to a spinning knob, and then we can take a look at the logs and see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So at this point, the provisioning process is ongoing. If we click on the View Logs link here, it'll give you an indicator of what's going on the switch. So this can take a bit of time, and there's no real need to monitor this at this point. So I'm just going to close it. Now, when this is complete, this little indicator here will go to green, and the switch will be provisioned. Okay, so I paused and unpaused the video, but as we can see, spine 1 is now up, and it's been provisioned, and it's ready to be added to a fabric. See green status, so we want to click on the View Logs button. We can get an update on what happened with the logs on the switch. And you can scroll through these if you like. Okay, that's it, folks. For more how-to videos and documentation, please refer to the resources section of the Pluribus Network's website. The QR code on the right will take you there. Thanks for watching, everyone.